we are going to be working through that Finder window all year long. So customizing that sidebar is step one in making life easier for yourself, because that's the whole idea, is let's get more efficient and effective. Now, customizing the Finder view options. Now, if I jump over to the Finder window and you see that I'm in column view and it's alphabetical, and I've got a folder sitting at the top that isn't alphabetical. The folders, I've got it set so the folders are always at the top. And that's in the Finder preferences. And you can go into Finder preferences and find that for yourself. But for right now, we're in view options. And the first two things I want to point out is the path bar and the status bar. You don't have either of these showing unless you're really savvy and you turn them on, because they're off by default. The path bar lets you know where things are. The path all the way back to the hard drive. This is really helpful when you're trying to find things that are buried deep and you go, oh yeah, inside that documents folder is a whole bunch of other folders that I can get to by double clicking on that and get to whatever else I wanted to find. Right? So I'm going to go back over here. Now, how do you turn on the path view and the status bar? You know, how many items are in here? Well, 56. You don't have to guess. You don't have to count. It tells you. Okay, pretty cool. How many items are in here? 1. Pretty simple. Okay, so under view, mine says hide path bar and hide status bar. Turn both of those on. For the rest of the year, every single time you open up a Finder window, I want to see this. You want to see it, because later on when you ask for help and I say open up a Finder window and I don't see the path bar, the status bar, I'm going to be disappointed, because that's going to help us both locate what you're looking for. It is just beneficial. The tab bar, not so much, because having 2 Finder windows gives us more flexibility. Yeah. You're used to tabs. I guess that one is a judgment call. But these two, I want on. Got it? Now, view options. Check this out. What the heck? This is it? Show icons. Show icon preview. What's that mean? Icon preview. Show preview column. That's this thing. Yeah. Okay. Big deal. Okay, Scotch, go. Big deal. All right. Turn that off. Turn that off. And switch to list view, where I have typically sorted by date modified all the time. So my newest files are always up near the top. Or the bottom, depending upon what's my oldest file. That Dartmouth study, what's that? Hit the space bar. Ah, hey, this is pretty interesting because it deals with you guys. But I digress. How do you change the view options here? Well, you bring up this same useless show view options and, whoa, look at all this. It's contextual. Changing depending upon the view. What do you want to see up here? Sorting by kind is wonderful. You know, show me only JPEGs. But of course, in here, I've got almost all JPEGs in one folder because that's what I'm using this folder for. But typically, you sort this out. You can see your AI files, your PSDs. It becomes really useful. Date created, date last opened. You know, you see these options that you have. Calculate all sizes can slow things down when you have a lot of folders, because then it calculates the folder size, and you really don't want to do that, except when you want to know the folder size. You turn it on, find out, turn it back off. You don't want to leave this on. But depending upon the view, and you notice you got this option, sort by. What's your default sort? Okay, so you got lots of different ones. For me, I always want to see the last time these things were modified, because then I can always get the most recent file because typically that's how I'm working when I'm in list view. When I'm in column view, it's a little different. However, in column view, you can still learn some other shortcuts. Under view, you have sort by, and you have those same options, and you see the shortcut? Control, Option, Command, look down. Control, Option, and Command on the left side of the keyboard, they're all together. And then you hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See? See how easy? And just run down the list. Okay, I find it easier to switch between my alphabetical list in column view and my date modified list in list view. That's just me. I want you to be able to find your files effectively. I don't want you to be a lost little sheep when you open up this window, when I come over to help and you can't find your files, even though you don't have that many files yet. But later on in the year, you will. How you handle this, how you become familiar with the Finder, how you work with the path bar and status bar in order to learn more about what you're doing and what you're looking for. Being able to say, oh yeah, the space bar gives me this quick view. That is a great way to work. And when you do this and use the up arrow or down arrow, you go back down the list. So a great way to see what's going on. I love my girls. I love you guys too, but become the person you can be. You start like this. You can become something multidimensional and so much richer and more interesting when you learn how to use the tools.